Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Elma and this is Space for Inspiration and Change. So this is a part 2 of the video I did before. I said in the previous video that I was explaining some of the reasons or some of the ways through which people take their own lives in South Korea. So this is part 2 of the video where I'm going to be telling you all some of the reasons why people take their own lives in South Korea. Like I said in my previous video, South Korea is the country in the among the developing countries. South Korea is the highest country with the highest amount of suicide. The suicide rate is high in South Korea, and it is the fourth highest country in the world with the highest amount of suicide. Okay, so this is part 2, and I'm going to be explaining it to you all. So one of the common reasons why I found out that people in South Korea take their lives is because of shame. Can you imagine? People take their lives because of shame. And I'm going to explain that. See, in Korea, there's a certain standard or a certain lifestyle that is expected from certain people. For example, if you're a celebrity or you're a person in a big position of authority, there's a certain standard that is expected of you. And if for any reason you fall short of that standard, you become so ashamed that it results to you taking your own life because you know how people in the society are going to bash you for making that kind of mistake. So it's amazing that not amazing. Amazing is the wrong word to use. It's interesting to know that people will take their own lives because they are ashamed to face the consequences of some things that they did. For example, there's this famous mayor in Korea. He had a scandal with his secretary or some kind of abuse or something like that. And when he realized that he had that kind of scandal, what did he do? He just quickly wrote a note, and then when he wrote that note, he just dropped it and jumped into the river and took his life. As simple as that. And now a list of many other celebrities who have taken their lives because they did something that society did not expect them to do, and they felt like, okay, these people are going to castigate us or they are going to do this to us, so I better take my life before they take my life from me. So that is one of the highest reasons why people take their lives, because they feel like they've fallen short of the glory and it's not worthy, or they are not worthy to face the people which they have committed the crime to, or they're not ready to face the consequences of the crimes they have committed, and they feel like, okay, the easiest way out is to end it all. Okay, for now I'll just leave it there, but I'm going to give my opinion honestly about this at the end of this video. So the second reason why I found out that people in Korea take against their lives is because it is due to what? Mental illness, depression. See, the life the life of children in Korea is very stressful and difficult. It is not easy. Like, the level of competition among Korean children is very high. If you see in a school, it is expected for you to perform well. If you don't perform well, you're traumatized. Like, after school, like the regular school, they go back home and they still have private tutors tutoring them. It's like they have no time to rest or to go, travel around. They're just constantly studying. So there's a certain standard that is expected of you as a student to perform well, so much so that if you don't perform well, you find yourself as a failure, and it might result to you even taking your own life for not doing well in an exam. So I have some Korean family, and they had taken their family away from Korea. And one of the reasons they explained was that the pressure on the kids was too much. They didn't want their kids to grow up in that kind of environment where they're expecting you to be the best. Failure is acceptable. Like, the reason why things make you stronger is because you have the right to fail at something so that you get better eventually. You wake up, clean the ashes and the dust on the mistakes you've made or the failures you've had, and then you become better. Life is not all about success. You have to record some failures along the line, because what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. But they don't see it like that. They expect the children to study. Some teachers have share their experiences that sometimes they feel bad, private tutors, that sometimes they feel bad tutoring the children because the children come for the classes tired. Sometimes they are sleepy. You see the depression on them, and the teachers just resign because they feel like they are the ones adding the depression of the children. I even have some professor who had shared with me that when she used to teach some of these Korean children, they used to cry to her and say, we wish we were born in some place in Africa where we could play around, we could have fun around, because we feel like we're so tight here. So they grow up with that kind of mindset. And it keeps going from generation to generation. You start expecting your children to be best at what they do. And when they do not become best at that, when they do not become best at what you expect them to do, and then you just parents are just hard on them, throwing harsh words at them and those kinds of things, it puts pressure on the children, and they feel like the easiest way out is to end it all. Now, concerning the previous video I did about the Han River, and this man and his wife had found this beautiful young girl sitting at this Han River. She was about to take her life. Her leg was already, I think it was at the time when the bridge was not very high. Her leg was already one way, halfway in, halfway out. And this man and his wife quickly pulled her off the bridge. And they asked her, what is the problem? She said that I have an issue with my mother. And then they said, did you talk to your mother? She said, yes, I tried to solve the issue. And my mother told me that she doesn't care about me. I should go and die if I wish to. So I decided to end it all. Can you imagine the pressure she's went through? And the thing is that most of the people who have spoken now, they try to say that when they try to voice out their opinions to their parents, that they are going through this kind of depression, they are facing mental illness or those kind of things, the families are ashamed to, it's a taboo for you to say that your child has a mental illness due to depression. They just shun the children up, like, don't say that kind of thing. How dare you say you're depressed? How dare you say you have mental illness? And the children are there dying in silence, and it's eating them up slowly, slowly. And they feel like, okay, the highest way to do is to end it all, to make my life easier. I have a friend who had shared with me that she went through some kind of traumatic incident in the hand of somebody. She was almost abused. And when she tried to share it with her family, they shunned her, like, don't ever say that kind of thing. It's a disgrace. And she has lived with that trauma for a long time that is affecting her life right now. It's affecting her so bad that she's so close-minded, that she's everything around her, she's suspicious of anybody and anything around her, and that thing has played on her mindset, which is not a good thing. And she has attempted to take her life 5 good times, but God did not allow her to take her life. So I was telling her that God kept you for a purpose, so you have to avoid those kind of things. Parents don't tend to take the thing seriously because they feel like it's going to be a disgrace on our family name to say my child has a mental illness. No. And another reason why people take their own lives is because of religious or political beliefs. Like, if you believe, have a firm belief about something, and then it's not acceptable, or it's not, your opinion is not accepted, you feel like, I have to stand firm for my points, and the only way I can prove myself is to take my own life. That's another reason why people take their lives, because they don't believe the things they believe in. For example, you have an opinion, political, religious, whatever opinion, and nobody is buying it, and you feel like the only way I can prove my opinion or can prove myself is by taking my life. And that's how they lose it. And another reason why I found out that people take their lives is because of poverty. See, during the COVID time, I heard that a lot of people took their lives because it was difficult. Like, the level of unemployment has become high. I think it's around the world, it's common right now. Most people are unemployed, and when you feel like you had a certain standard of living and then you cannot make ends meet anymore, you feel like it's easier. So people see ending it all like the easiest way out. It's to just, let's end it all, take your life, but which is not the easiest way out. So in conclusion, these are like the top 3 reasons which I found out that are the highest cause of death or suicide among South Koreans. And it's very serious because these people have very firm beliefs in their culture and in their customs that they don't find anything wrong or see anything wrong with that. For them, they believe that their children have to study. So that's like, those are the reasons I came up with. But in my opinion, if I were to say something, I'll say, like, people are bound to make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, you learn from your mistakes. So parents should not expect their children to always be perfect, because they can never be perfect. Not everyone is that smart. Not everyone is as smart as you think they are. And when you put them so much pressure on them, they grow up, I don't know, and they might end up wanting to end it all. So parents should try to listen to their children when they cry out for help. If a child is crying out for something, you give a listening ear to the child and try to see, what is this child really crying about? What can I do to fix it? If parents give more attention to the needs of their children, if a child doesn't want to study, do not force them. I remember when in Cameroon, we used to during holidays, my dad would always tell us that I'm going to send you for holiday classes. But then he never did it because he knew that there's a time for rest and there's a time to go to school. You cannot just put pressure on a child to be studying around the clock. It's draining, it's depressing. And when they try to cry out, you feel like no, everyone is the way things are done in this country. You have to follow. So no, I just believe, I wish that the younger generation can bring up their children differently and not mount so much pressure on them that will make them or push them to go and take their own lives. Also, another thing I heard, that another common reason is because people take their lives is because they don't get married. Like I don't know, the number of people that get married in this country is very few. As well as you even see those that get married, you even see the birth rate is very low as well. So, well, those are some of the reasons why I think people take their lives in Korea, and I pray that it gets better someday. Like I said, as parents are raising their children, they should learn to listen to your children. Do not put so much pressure on your children. All all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. It's an adage that people always say. So learn to let your children rest. After school, you can teach them at home once or twice. It should not be a daily routine. It should not be something that will drain them. When they have incidents in their lives, listen to them. Don't push them aside to the point where they feel like they have to end it or to take their lives. Okay. I don't know. I just pray for everyone who is going through something in their lives right now, that God will console you so that you will not think about taking your own life. Let the Lord console you and give you peace in your heart so that you will know that there's more to this life. There's God in this life. Cry out your pain to Him. He's ready to listen to you. If you feel like your parents are not listening to you, your family is not listening to you, cry out to God. He listens. He's your maker. He understands, and He's going to fix it for you. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. What do you think is the way forward that people can do to solve this problem in South Korea? Let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, turn on your notification bells. Until next time, bye bye.